Lying quietly at the foot of Mount Vesuvius, the ancient city of Pompeii has long stood as a symbol, not only of a devastating natural disaster, but also as a doorway leading back to the distant past of Roman civilization. More than 2,000 years ago, this place was a bustling city where merchants, craftsmen, nobles, and slaves all lived together under the roofs of grand villas, along stone-paved streets, and within lively squares filled with laughter. The fate of Pompeii changed completely in a single fateful moment in the year 79 AD, when Vesuvius suddenly erupted with violent force. The city was buried beneath a layer of ash and dust, every activity seemingly halted forever, as if even time itself had frozen in the final terror of its people. That tragedy did not merely erase a prosperous city, Tindices, it also quite unintentionally created a one-of-a-kind archaeological legacy for all of humanity. Today, Pompeii is not only a world-famous archaeological site, but also an endless source of inspiration for scientists and for all who love to explore the mysteries of the past. Over more than 2 centuries of continuous excavations, thousands of artifacts have come to light, from vivid wall paintings to exquisite bronze statues, from ordinary household objects like bowls and oil lamps to temples, taverns, public baths, and even bakeries where the ovens still bear traces of scorching. In particular, archaeologists are still discovering new victims of the eruption, along with the personal treasures they tried to hold on to in their final moments. Each new discovery adds a vibrant piece to the mosaic of this ancient Roman tragedy. And thanks to the volcanic ash that covered it, Pompeii has preserved nearly an entire city in remarkable detail, little fragments that tell the story of the past, as if it had never been forgotten. The history of Pompeii spans many centuries, reflecting the upheavals and rich cultural exchanges that characterized the ancient Mediterranean world. The city traces its origins to the 7th or 6th century BC, when the first Oscan tribes settled along the banks of the Sarno River. Thanks to its strategic location near major trade routes connecting the interior with the coast, Pompeii quickly became a bustling center of commerce. The Oscans not only built sturdy homes from volcanic stone, but also developed simple irrigation systems to support agriculture. Over time, Pompeii experienced many layers of cultural influence. The first of these was from the Greeks, merchants and craftsmen from the colonies of Magna Graecia, who brought with them Greek-style architecture, new forms of art, and novel religious beliefs, all of which contributed to the vibrant spiritual life of Pompeii. Following the Greeks, the Etruscans, a powerful civilization in central Italy, ruled the area for a time, leaving their mark through defensive walls and distinctive religious rituals. After the Etruscans, the city came under the control of the Samnites, a famed warrior people of southern Italy. The Samnites turned Pompeii into a fortified stronghold and expanded its trading networks, further enriching the city. However, the most significant turning point came in 89 BC, when Pompeii was officially conquered by the Roman Empire after the Social War. From that moment, the city entered an unprecedented golden age. Under Roman rule, Pompeii was meticulously planned and organized. Straight stone-paved streets radiated from the city center, linking taverns, bakeries, food markets, public baths, and luxurious villas. Many grand homes of the aristocracy were decorated with vibrant wall paintings and exquisite mosaic floors, depicting scenes from mythology and religious ceremonies. But Pompeii's achievements did not end there. The city became renowned for its impressive public works. The Forum, the heart of the city, was the site of political, commercial, religious, and social activities. The large amphitheater, which could seat tens of thousands, hosted gladiatorial games, theater performances, and community events. The city also boasted many splendid temples dedicated to important deities such as Apollo, Jupiter, Venus, and Isis, evidence of the religious diversity of its inhabitants. Alongside its architecture, Pompeii was also celebrated for its advanced water supply system, featuring lead pipes and fountains scattered throughout the city. This was an extraordinary technical achievement that helped to improve the quality of life for all social classes. All these accomplishments made Pompeii one of the most outstanding cities of ancient Rome before its fateful day arrived. That is why every layer of earth, every wall painting, every remaining stone here holds within it the story of a once flourishing society, a source of pride for an entire civilization. On a summer morning in 79 AD, the people of Pompeii began their day just as they had on countless days before. No one could have imagined that, in less than 2 days, the entire city would vanish completely from the map of the world. Mount Vesuvius, which had lain dormant for hundreds of years, suddenly awakened with a terrifying force that no one of that era could have foreseen. On the morning of the 24th of August, Vesuvius erupted, spewing millions of tons of ash, scorching stones, and surging rivers of lava down its slopes. At first, the residents of Pompeii saw only thick, dark clouds and tiny flecks of ash drifting down onto their rooftops. But almost immediately, the sky turned black, day became night, and the air grew heavy with hot dust and the choking scent of sulfur. People panicked and ran for shelter, but very few realized that an even greater disaster was on its way. Within just a few hours, pyroclastic flows, blisteringly hot torrents of gas and debris, swept down upon Pompeii and Herculaneum. The intense heat from these flows not only killed every living thing in their path, but also froze every scene at the very moment disaster struck. The entire city was buried under a layer of ash and stone more than 6 meters thick. Houses, temples, streets, and even the final moments of the victims were preserved almost perfectly beneath the ash. The layers of volcanic ash did more than simply cover the city, and protected its buildings, murals, everyday objects, and even the traces of people in their last frantic moments. Thanks to this, thousands of years later, archaeologists have been able to rediscover nearly the entire life of an ancient Roman city, something almost unheard of anywhere else in the world. After the catastrophe, Pompeii was almost entirely erased from human memory. The land faded into obscurity, lying silent beneath its thick shroud of ash. It was not until 1748, during the construction of a palace for King Charles III of Naples, that workers unexpectedly uncovered stone walls, brilliantly colored frescoes, and curious artifacts. This discovery ushered in a new era for world archaeology and turned Pompeii into one of the most famous and valuable archaeological sites humanity has ever known. In August 2024, an international team of archaeologists announced a groundbreaking discovery at Pompeii. During excavations in Regio Insula 10, scientists uncovered the remains of 2 individuals, a man and a woman, lying side by side in a small room at the back of a house that once featured a blue shrine, known as the Blue Sacrarium. This discovery not only adds to the growing list of unfortunate victims from the ancient disaster, but also opens a new window into the final moments of the city's residents beneath Mount Vesuvius. According to initial analysis, these 2 people had chosen to take shelter in the small room, hoping to escape the wrath of nature. As lava and ash began to flood the open areas of the house, they quickly sought what they believed to be the safest place, a sealed room behind the Grand Hall, decorated in the classical Roman style. Yet this very decision, which seemed to offer hope for survival, ultimately became their final refuge. The closed window kept falling pumice stones out, but the thick ash accumulating outside soon blocked the door completely. The 2 became trapped inside, unable to escape, and perished when hot gases and ash finally entered the small room. What stands out most is the position and circumstances of the woman. She was found lying on a wooden bed, beside a chest filled with gold coins and precious jewelry, such as gold earrings set with pearls, silver rings, and several exquisitely crafted bronze ornaments. These artifacts reveal that she belonged to the upper class and had likely rushed to gather her most valuable possessions in a moment of panic. This act reflects a powerful instinct to survive and a fragile hope that she might outlive the disaster so that her family's wealth could be preserved. The significance of this discovery is heightened by the astonishing level of preservation of the room's contents. Archaeologists were able to identify the original locations of the bed, the wooden chest, a bronze lampstand, a marble table, and many daily use objects that remained intact. These details not only help reconstruct the living space of Pompeii's residents at that fateful moment, but also provide vivid insight into material life and the differences in social class within the ancient city. While many know Pompeii for the volcanic disaster of 79 AD, very few realize that beneath that layer of ash are mysteries from a much more ancient era. Recently, archaeologists have uncovered a series of valuable clues, revealing the lives and deaths of communities that existed in this region long before Pompeii became a Roman colony. Most notable is the discovery of 35 pit and jar burials dating from the 3rd to the 1st centuries BC. This was a time when the area was still heavily influenced by native cultures, such as the Oscans, while also absorbing many foreign elements from traders and migrants from across the Mediterranean. These graves are not simply places for the dead to rest, but reflect the customs, beliefs, and the cultural blending of ancient local communities. Each burial was covered by large ceramic jars called amphorae. What is remarkable is that these amphorae were arranged with their necks and bases interlocked, forming a structure that was both protective and symbolic. On the surfaces of many of these jars, archaeologists discovered inscriptions in Punic, a language that originated in North Africa and was widely used in Carthage and Phoenician colonies. This finding reveals the cultural and commercial connections between Pompeii and other Mediterranean civilizations, as well as the diversity of its inhabitants prior to Roman times. Inside the graves, many small objects have been preserved quite well, such as pottery vessels, slender perfume bottles, unguentarium, with their distinct shape, and a number of ancient coins. These items not only help reconstruct burial practices, but also shed light on ancient beliefs about the afterlife, where the dead were buried with essential items, as if preparing for the journey beyond death. The discoveries extend beyond the cemetery. Archaeologists have also excavated an ancient canal near Pompeii and found a multitude of pre-Roman artifacts. Within this canal, they uncovered hundreds of broken roof tiles, wooden planks preserved by the damp environment, and large storage jars called dolium, used for holding grain or wine. There were also many small stone columns, columella, which served as grave markers or property boundaries, and roof tiles inscribed in Oscan, the native language, once common in southern Italy before Roman domination. Most striking of all is the discovery of a sculpted head of a woman, carved from Campanian gray tuff stone. What makes this artifact extraordinary is that the original red pigment in the statue's hair has been preserved after thousands of years, a rare testament to the artistic and painting techniques of pre-Roman craftsmen. This find offers new insight into the spiritual life and aesthetic sensibilities of the communities that once lived in Pompeii, long before Roman rule was imposed. The history of Pompeii entered an entirely new chapter at the end of the 1st century BC, when the city was swept up in the turmoil of the Social War, a major conflict between Rome and its Italian allies. The underlying cause of the war lay in the deep-seated inequalities between Roman citizens and their allied communities, socii, who had contributed to the strength of the Roman Republic but were denied full political rights. Like many other cities in southern Italy, Pompeii joined the alliance against Rome's absolute power, hoping to gain greater autonomy for its own community. In 89 BC, the Roman general Lucius Cornelius Sulla laid siege to Pompeii, employing a prolonged campaign of encirclement and bombardment. Fierce fighting and the devastation wrought by heavy weaponry left their marks on the city's ancient structures and defensive walls, traces that archaeologists can still find today, preserved in the layers of earth. Many historians believe that after Pompeii was defeated, some of the city's infrastructure, including ancient canals, was built or modified to serve the needs of war and to establish a new order under Roman control. Once the war ended, Pompeii was no longer a self-governing city, but was officially made a Roman colony, with the full name Colonia Cornelia Veneria Pompeianorum. This transformation was not simply a change of title, it marked a complete shift in social structure, governmental system, and urban landscape. The Roman authorities appropriated local land to distribute to veteran soldiers who had fought under Sulla. The arrival of these Roman veterans not only increased the city's population, but also introduced new customs, social models, and ways of organizing daily life. The architecture of Pompeii also changed markedly during this period. Many public works in the Roman style, temples, forums, amphitheaters, public baths, thermae, and fountains, appeared in succession, giving the city a look and feel entirely different from earlier times. The street system was expanded and paved, neighborhoods were replanned, and the commercial, administrative, and religious centers were all more logically connected. The city's pace of life became livelier, reflecting the vitality of a diverse society, where Romans, Oscans, Samnites, and other communities lived together and shared their cultures. Culturally, the Roman presence brought a fresh new spirit to the life of Pompeii. Latin became the language of administration and public life, while Roman festivals and religious rituals were held regularly alongside traditional local customs. Many native families gradually adapted and integrated into the new social order, giving rise to a unique urban identity for Pompeii during the Roman era. These changes laid the foundations for a period of great prosperity. Just a few generations after the war, Pompeii had become a prominent center of trade, culture, and entertainment in the Campania region, drawing visitors from far and wide and standing as a model of the fusion between local tradition and Roman power. One of the most remarkable aspects of Pompeii for modern scientists is the ability to read the history of agriculture through each layer of its archaeological soil. Thanks to techniques that analyze pollen, seeds, and preserved plant remains beneath the volcanic ash, researchers have gained a comprehensive understanding of the crops and farming methods practiced at the foot of Vesuvius 2,000 years ago. Survey results show that the people of Pompeii did not rely solely on the traditional Mediterranean staples of wheat, grapes, and olives, but also cultivated a diverse array of vegetables and fruit trees. Notably, scientists have identified the presence of perennial artichokes, a plant highly valued both for its nutritional and medicinal properties, and much favored by the ancient Romans. In addition, analyses have revealed traces of beans and even fruits such as figs, apples, and cherries. This diversity reflects not only a rich culinary palate, but also the sophisticated agricultural knowledge of Pompeii's residents. Pompeii's flourishing agriculture owed much to the unique properties of its land. Earlier, volcanic eruptions had created an extremely fertile layer of basaltic soil, rich in minerals, an ideal environment for rapid crop growth and high yields. This resource turned the plains around Pompeii into a breadbasket for southern Italy during the Roman era, meeting not only the food needs of the city's inhabitants, but also producing a surplus for trade with neighboring regions. The farms in the outskirts of Pompeii were often vast estates, equipped with irrigation systems that brought water from the Sarno River or directly from streams flowing down the slopes of Vesuvius. Many wealthy landowners invested in advanced cultivation methods, growing grape varieties for wine and various types of fruit used in food preparation and cosmetics. Pottery, plant containers, and metal farming tools found at these suburban villas testify to the high level of technical skill and professionalism in Pompeii's agriculture. Beyond wheat, grapes, and olives, the golden trio of the Roman agricultural economy, products such as Pompeii, wine, olive oil, fresh vegetables, and spices appeared in major markets from Naples to Rome. Merchants took advantage of both overland and maritime routes, utilizing the city's coastal position and bustling port system to transport goods across the Mediterranean. This made Pompeii not only a production center, but also a key commercial hub in the vast economic network of ancient Rome. The archaeological discoveries at Pompeii, uncovered over more than 2 centuries, have continually enriched our understanding of life in ancient Rome. With every excavated layer of earth and every newly unearthed artifact, another piece of the unfinished story of this city, buried beneath volcanic ash, comes to light. From the moving final moments of the 2 victims found in 2024, desperately clinging to their most precious possessions in a panic, to the multicultural ancient graves that reflect the exchange and diversity of the communities who once lived in Pompeii, every discovery adds a new fragment to the grand historical mosaic of this city. Pompeii is not merely a lost city. It stands as a symbol of the desire to explore, a testament to the pursuit of knowledge, and a profound lesson in preserving the values of the past. It is these small archaeological pieces that have given Pompeii its enduring vitality in the hearts of generations of history lovers, from scientists to tourists, from local residents to millions of viewers around the world. If you've been captivated by this journey, stay with us. Don't forget to leave your thoughts, share the video, and subscribe to the channel to continue exploring many more fascinating mysteries from ancient sites around the world. Thank you for spending your time with us, and see you again in the next remarkable stories of history, people, and the everlasting legacies of humanity.